Good morning, it's Chris with Citygirlhomestead. So, I thought I'd bring you along with me today to do a few of my little adventures that I'm going to do. The first one I'm going to do is, if you noticed last time me and Jackie's bacon, it's getting low and they had it on sale for $3.99 at Meijer. So, bring you down here. This is how I do my bacon. I bake it, and I'm using my old little silicone pads there since I got new ones, because the bacon will stain them. So I'm going to fill these full of bacon, and then I'm going to bake them on 350 until it's as crispy as I would like it. And I'll bring you back when I do that, because then I'm going to also save my bacon grease. So there's something else I'm going to do. So I'm going to get these two trays done, and then I'm going to start the next thing. So I'll bring you back when I start the next. Okay, got the first two trays of the bacon in the oven. Now, the next thing I wanted to do is, I watched a bunch of videos on it yesterday. I have a whole bag of, let's pull you back here a little bit. I have a whole bag of that fat from yesterday from that ham. So I want to render the fat. And I watched a whole bunch of videos on how to do it yesterday. So you want to cut your fat into about 1-inch pieces. You can do this in your crock pot if you want. I'm going to do it on the stove. You put it on the very lowest setting on your stove. And you want to cut it into about 1-inch pieces. And like they said, if you get a little bit of meat in there or something, that's all right, because you're going to drain it all and, you know, put it through a sieve or whatever they call that. So the neighbor took the bones. He wants to make some soup. And he's got a dog. So he took the bones, but I wanted to see what I could do with the fat. Now, there was a story I watched on Miss Lori at the Whippoorwill Holler, and they were saying how lard is not good for you. And actually, it had to do with Crisco, so that they could sell more. And there's a lot of good fats in lard as well. So I'm going to try to pull that good fat out and see what we can come up with if I can make some lard up and save some money, because, you know, I mean, olive oil, A, is getting hard to find, and B, it's getting very, very expensive, and I love it. But honestly, since I've been using my bacon grease, which, you know, honestly, there's some things that, since just before I started the channel till even more now, I realized how much waste we all do. And even if we don't mean to, we do. So, like, they finally put me on an antibiotic, by the way. But anyway, you know, I never saved bacon grease. My grandma did it all the time. And we've lost a lot of those traditions of saving things and preserving things that our grandparents or even our parents have done. And we've spent a lot of money, A, and B, we've lost a lot of resources. And that's really sad when you think about it. You know what I mean? Because really, and we're going into some rough times, and who knows how long it'll last. So I want to learn how to do more of making food stretch and making food preserved and being able to feed my family. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have 3 sons, one daughter-in-law, because my one son's going through a divorce, and the other one broke up with his girlfriend from 8, 9 years. But, you know, so we've got a big family. We've got 2 grandsons, and I don't want to see them go without. So I need to learn for myself and for my family, even though they're grown, on what things we can do to preserve our food and to not waste. That's like on Sunday Lives. That's why normally we cook something with apples in it, because I still have apples to use up. And I really don't want more applesauce, and I really don't need any more apple butter. So we use it on other stuff. So I'm going to get all this chopped up and put in here. And like I say, put it on very low, and then every once in a while just stir it until it's enough where you can start filling jars. So I will bring you back. It smells really good in here. The bacon's starting to cook. So I will bring you back and show you the two different things I'm doing today to preserve this part of it. And then we're going to do something else when I get around and call Jack. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so my first batch of, well, one of my trays anyway, of bacon is done. So the first thing I do is I let it cool just a couple seconds there, because it comes out pretty hot. And I put it on this plate so that it can drain as much fat off of it as it can before I freeze it. So I'll put you back right back there. And then I have the next tray already in, and then I have another one set up to go. And then I'll reuse this one. Then I just let my bacon grease drip. I don't think I'll need a quart this time. Doesn't look like that was very fat, does it? So I will probably end up switching to a pint, because I don't think if they're all that, but you never know. One might be really greasy and the next one might not be. But any grease that I get out of it, I will definitely use it. So that's what I do with my bacon, and we'll see how much grease I do come up with at the end. So, and then this I want to show you real quick. It's already melting down, which is, if you ask me, pretty cool. So I don't know how long that takes, but it's pretty cool. I can hear it actually, because I've been sitting next to it doing these trays, and I can hear it. It's really cool. So that will be done today too, I imagine. I don't think it'll take too long, because it seems to be melting along pretty quick. So anything we can do to make things better. I'll be back. Alright, so before I get started with some of the lard, I wanted to show you, this is 5 pounds of my bacon. That's going to go in the refrigerator, or the freezer. Then this is what I got for bacon grease. It wasn't a ton, but hey, that's a couple meals right there. Alright, so now they say that you can do it as you go along, so that's what I'm going to do. I've got my little funnel here, and then I've also got this screen here. And then you just push down on it. And let it drain out. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe this. I've never done this. I am so excited by this, honestly. And then I asked the neighbor, he brought me over some bean soup, because we gave him that bone yesterday. And he brought me over some soup that he made with it. It was pretty good. And I showed him what I'm doing, and I asked him, does he use the chitterings or whatever it's called that comes at the end there? And he's like, no. And we got to talking about it, and we could give that to the birds. So we will let nothing go to waste from this. And the bones that are left, his dog is chewing on them. So that whole entire ham, nothing went to waste. So I'll be back and show you how much exact I get after we're done. Alrighty, so I'm done cooking the fat, and I ended up with 1 pint of lard, and right now it's still liquidy, obviously. but it'll harden up, and I'll put it in the refrigerator. Was it worth all that for a pint? I'm not sure, but what I do know is that the cracklings that are left are out there and the birds are eating them. And we've got some lard here, and we've got some ham in the freezer. And I was watching on one channel, and it makes a lot of sense. When you take something's life, you want to make sure that you know, use up what you did. And honestly, I feel like everything that I could have used from the ham that we obtained was used. And I feel good about that. So it might only be just a pint, but it's a pint less than I have to buy, you know, and I know what's in it. There isn't all the additives and preservatives that they put in like Crisco and all those other ones. It's pure. So, you know, do I feel good about doing it for that reason? Absolutely. Because it's nice to know what's going in your body. And I know I'm a fluffy girl, big fluffy girl, but, you know, I'm getting to that age where I want to know what I'm putting in my body too. And honestly, I think anytime that we can do that and not waste, I think it's a good thing. So, and the birds are liking it right now too. So, and we got bean soup out of the bone, plus the dog got the bone, and we got a bunch of different meals with that ham. So I'd say overall, thumbs up. We did a great thing, and it's a winner. Give it a try, guys.